Thank you all for coming to hear about Project Nujio'qonik, World Energy GH2's project in Newfoundland and Labrador on the west coast of the island of Newfoundland. Recognize some faces in the crowd, but there's some new folks here, and we're going to give you an understanding of what we're working toward with this groundbreaking project. Important to start with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge our project area as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. We also acknowledge the island of Newfoundland as the unceded traditional territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. We recognize all First Peoples who are here before us, those who live with us, and the 7 generations to come. Today on stage here, I have with me Chief Jenny Brake from the Qalipu First Nation. We'll talk more about the Qalipu and our proud partnership with Qalipu as we work through the deck here and tell you about the project. Also have Sheila O'Neill, our Indigenous Relations Manager. And Sheila is a member of the Qalipu First Nation as well. And we're honored to have Chief Michelle Joe here from the Nujio'qonik First Nation. Chief has worked with us in many ways in various companies that the partners of the project have put together, and we're proud to have him on board as our strategic advisor. So general overview of the project. The project name is a traditional Mi'kmaq name. It's the name for the area of Bay St. George, again on the west coast of the island of Newfoundland, pronounced Nujio'qonik, as you'll see there. We are a large-scale project by any standard, 4 gigawatts of wind. We'll talk more about those wind sites that we've been awarded by the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And eventually we'll be producing upwards of 280,000 tons of green hydrogen. The partners have made a significant amount of progress to date. We're one of the leading projects globally with respect to the production of green hydrogen, intent on shipping that to Europe in late 2026 or early 2027, depending on how the market aligns on the infrastructure side. Partners in the project include CFFI Ventures. John Risley is here today. John's the chairman and the president of CFFI Ventures, and a prominent Atlantic Canadian business person. World Energy, our sister company, World Energy LLC, is a company that John Risley is a partner in, and one of our other partners in the project, Gene Gabolis, out of Boston in the United States, is a partner in the project as well. And what's interesting about Gene's partnership in the project and us sharing the branding with our sister company is Gene started World Energy LLC on Earth Day 26 years ago and has been manufacturing biofuels and sustainable aviation fuels. So the roots of our project and the passion for it is started long before this project was initiated. Horizon Maritime is a company that John Risley and I are partners in, a marine company focused on sustainability. And Brendan Paddock is here as well, another partner of ours, proud native of Grand Falls, Windsor, on the island of Newfoundland, and active in various industries, and a huge part of moving this project forward. We've got SK EcoPlant, who joined the project in May of last year. Some of our colleagues from SK EcoPlant are here. SK Engineering invested alongside SK EcoPlant, and we're proud to have them on board as the second largest conglomerate in Korea. And they selected Project Nujio'qonik on the other side of the world as their first green hydrogen production investment. So you can see we're in close proximity to the major market initially, where we expect our molecules to flow into Europe. The ports we're focused on delivering to are the Port of Wilhelmshaven in Germany, Rotterdam, of course, and Antwerp, Bruges in Belgium. We're going to quickly run through the milestones and hopefully leave a significant amount of time to talk to you about our First Nations partnerships, the most important part of the project for us, and the license that we have, the social license that we have to build this project comes from our First Nations partners. And we began an engagement with our First Nations partners back in March of 2022. This is a Horizon Maritime vessel coming in the channel of the Port of Stephenville. That's our project site. The community engagement in general more publicly began in May of 2022. So if you think about this timeline as we work through these slides to give you an impression of it, our hope is that you'll understand how far advanced we are with this project and how focused the partners are on being a first mover and taking a leadership role in the fight against climate change. Our environmental registration with the province of Newfoundland and Labrador took place on June of 2022. That was a significant milestone for us, registering the project, and there's quite a process involved after the registration in order to get the environmental assessment release, which we will talk about soon. We opened a community office in Stephenville in July of 2022. And shortly after that, a momentous day where the Chancellor of Germany and the Vice Chancellor came to our project site in Stephenville. What's interesting about this unique site, it's a unique site for a number of reasons, including a massive, very strong wind resource, massive fresh water supply. But the American military had built the port. It's a deep water channel, and there's an airport next to it. And this airport is a significant facility and has a runway long enough to land the Chancellor of Germany's Airbus A340, including our Prime Minister of Canada's aircraft as well. Now, the fact that our project site was chosen for this is because the Canadian government and the German government wanted to sign a Canada-Germany Hydrogen Alliance. And they wanted to go to a site that was very well advanced and a project that had the commitment from the partners to be developed. So we were fortunate to have this opportunity to host them there, have a trade fair, and have the signing of the agreement at our project site. Right behind that, we signed an agreement with the Alibu First Nation. I'm not going to talk in detail about Alibu because Chief Jenny is going to come up next and talk about that and can do a much better job of representing her nation than I can. But this is an extremely important milestone to us, and we've built on this partnership, and we're quite proud and excited with where we're at and where we're going. We then signed an MOU with the town of Stephenville. This was at the Hamburg Wind Conference in 2022. And the town of Stephenville has been hugely supportive. I think there's representatives here. The mayor is here, Mayor Rose and council. And it's been wonderful to have them as a partner and take them on this journey with us as we work toward building a project that the community, the broader community, can be proud of. Wind measurement campaign, hugely important. We erected our first wind measurement tower in November of 2022. So we have well over a year of physical wind data now. Again, a sign of how far advanced we are. And then this day I mentioned previously when SK joined the project, that was in May of 2023 in Seoul, Korea. And in the center, you'll see John Risley off to his right, Brendan Paddock, myself, our CFO, Rich Hugh, and our council, David Lever there, along with our colleagues from SK Ecoplant. Not to be understated, I'll repeat it again, SK Ecoplant and SK Engineering are active in the renewable space and chose the province of Newfoundland and Labrador to make their initial investment in green hydrogen. We then acquired the Port of Stephenville. I talked a little bit about it, but this is a deep water channel. We're dredging to 14 meters. Currently, it's a 10-meter water depth channel. And just to the left of that is the airport that I talked about, where the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor and our Prime Minister landed. And you'll see, it's not overly visible there, but there's a red building at the end of the channel, and that's where the event was held, the Canada-Germany Hydrogen Alliance signing. We then submitted an environmental impact statement. So we registered the project, as mentioned, in June of 22. And then the province gave us instructions on what was required to do the work that we needed to do to get an environmental release. So we submitted our impact statement in response to those guidelines in August. August was a big month for us. We received Crown Land Award of 4 sites. Each of these wind farm sites can hold 1 gigawatt of wind. We're looking at 6 to 7 megawatt turbines. Again, significant by any standard globally. And we have area beyond that to develop as well, which holds huge opportunity for expansion of the project longer term. So here's a bit more detail of those sites. The first site will be the Port-to-Port Wind Farm. We're well advanced on that. The Port-to-Port Wind Farm and the Codroy Wind Farm are the subject of the environmental impact statement that we submitted. So it includes the plant location, the transmission lines, and the initial 2 wind farms. We're sponsoring the College of the North Atlantic. It's a leading educational institution in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. We sponsored the students who are the initial students for the College of the North Atlantic's relatively new wind turbine and hydrogen technician courses. This is a sign of how passionate our province is about developing this. We've got everybody pulling together. The province has moved mountains. Our federal government has also moved mountains to stand up this industry. We're fully committed, but the college went out with a huge amount of initiative, moved very quickly to set up these courses, and all of those students are from the local area. 1 year of wind data, a huge milestone for us, so we've eclipsed that now. We've got a number of turbine manufacturers, wind turbine manufacturers, looking at our site to understand what model of turbine that we're going to need. It's a gusty site, it's very turbulent. So this physical wind data was very important. Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro, we have a grid in the province that is well over 90% existing renewable energy. That gives us a huge advantage for our RFNBO, renewable fuel of non-biological origin compliance. And there's no question that we will have fully certified green hydrogen from day one. We've been working hard on developing our relationship with the ports and the off-takers. This is a sign of our federal government support, where we received from Export Development Canada, something that they have only done in one other occasion, where they're helping to support the development expenses of a project of this nature. And this is in Ottawa on the day that we received and announced that funding. The Halibu First Nation, there's a number of activities that we're participating with Halibu on, and we're working toward clarifying what the role looks like. It's going to be a very significant role, but one of the early activities that we're progressing now is a relationship with the DOB Academy, and interestingly, they're here in Delft, just outside of Rotterdam. So they've trained people for the likes of Shell and BP here in Rotterdam. They have an academy in Japan. And now we're setting up an academy in Stephenville. And I shouldn't say we, it's not World Energy, it's Halibu and the DOB Academy. We then received our environmental approval recently. What's important here again is we have approval for our wind farm sites, our transmission sites, the plant, the water supply. Our approval is all encompassing. So we have some conditions to meet, as with any project, but we have no more environmental hurdles to clear with regards to our approvals. And we've recently completed our 3D modeling. I'll go through these fairly quickly, but if you'd like to visit our booth, we can take you on a deep dive of what the plant site looks like and show you how far advanced we are on the engineering of our project. We're focused now on offtake agreements and moving the front-end engineering and design along, and we're looking at a final investment decision in March of 2025.